Hello. We can't do much gardening here at Homegrown Veg in the UK today. The weather's against us. It's only just stopped raining and it's only just stopped blowing. But the weather really has been ridiculous. Just yesterday, the day bore, I think we recorded the wettest day ever recorded in the United Kingdom. How about that? Wall to wall rain, and it blew a gale all day. I think we're sitting under some low pressure at the moment that's just going round and round, doesn't want to move. And then last month in May we recorded the most sunshine we'd ever had in the month of May. How about that? We seem to be getting all the extremes of weather, so it's difficult to grow stuff, and even more difficult to grow stuff in buckets. All my buckets outdoors are up against the property, trying to keep out of the wind. And one thing I will warn you now, if you are growing in buckets and you have moved them next to a wall to get them out of the wind, it may have rained all day, but there may be no rain going in those buckets because you've put them in shelter. So you might want to check that your buckets aren't drying out, and you may want to give them a drink. Don't think because it's raining some of that rain's going in those buckets. If you've sheltered them from the wind against a wall, they're possibly getting no rain, so you may want to give them a drink. Well, I'm just sitting in the greenhouse at the moment. I've done a wee bit of work with these tomato plants, and I'm going back indoors shortly. But before I do that, I'm going to dovetail you to a video that I shot a few years back, and it seems appropriate to recycle that video now because of the predicament we all find ourselves in. We're all under lockdown. There are more gardeners now than ever before. People are trying gardening as a hobby. And because we're in lockdown and we can't get to the shops, we're doing a lot of internet shopping. And probably the biggest internet shop is Amazon. Would you agree? I don't think there's any bigger. And the parcels just keep coming, don't they? The parcels just keep coming. And so I want to tell you now how to get a free light box from Amazon. I used the light box for growing seeds in, to make sure the seeds got as much light as they could get on a windowsill, and the light box even amplified the light, so those seedlings grew quicker, grew taller, grew stronger. But you could use this free light box for anything. You know, you can stand anything in a light box. You want to take photographs of something and get a nice bright background, a light box will do. There's probably all kinds of use for a free light box. Now the video I'm cutting to now only lasts about 12 minutes, so watch it from start to finish, and then come back to me in this greenhouse. We'll wind it up. Hello. These are the sweet corn I'm going to be growing this year. It's a variety called Incredible, and it's an F1. I grew these sweet corn last year, and I grew them in 10-inch pots. One sweet corn plant in one 10-inch pot, and I think I might have had about a dozen of those. I can't just recall now. And they did quite well. I got quite a lot of good kernels off them. They're not 100% full of corn, but a lot of corn. So I'm going to give them another go this year. Whether I grow them in pots or if I can find some space in the raised bed, I'm not too sure yet. But we'll see how the season develops. Okay, so I've sown these guys already, and I've sown them in this box on some damp tissue, and they've been in this box for about 2 weeks. Let's see if we can get the top off. Yep. There we go. So these guys have been on damp tissue for 2 weeks, there or thereabouts. I think you can see we've got a root and we've got a shoot. Okay, so I'm going to plant these on now. I'm going to put them in these small cells with some compost and grow them on in there for a while, and then eventually either pot them up or get them outdoors, get them into the raised bed. I'm not sure which yet. And I think if we look at these and do a quick head count, we'll find there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12. I think we've nearly got 100% germination there. They all seem to have germinated. And what's interesting actually, on the back of this packet, there is a sow by date, and it says sow by 2015, and it's now 2016. So presumably I was expected to throw those out. Well, here at Homegrown Veg we don't throw anything out. We give it a shot. It only goes out if it won't germinate. These guys have germinated. They're going to grow on. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do this. Let's just put this to one side. Right, now sometimes these guys get hold of the tissue. But as you can see, I've lifted that one off. It's got 2 roots going on it. It's got this big tap root. That's the original root that starts before anything else. And then it starts to throw out smaller roots. I'm holding it by the shoot now. I just need to lean over here. Just hold on. Okay, so what I'm hoping to do is, these cells are already filled with compost. I'm hoping to use this plant marker to open up the cell, to tease that root into it, and then to sit it down on the compost. Okay. So let's try that. Let's see if we can do that. So that's opened the compost up. We'll see if we can sit that root in there as best we can without breaking it. Feed it in. We'll sit it on there like that, and we'll drizzle some compost on top. Okay. How's that? I don't think we broke that root. And that's one done. Let's do another. Open it up. There we go. Feed that root in as best we can. Sit that on the compost, and we'll drizzle some compost on top. Okay, I know these guys are getting buried up at the moment. Don't worry about that, I'll shake some of this compost off. Open that up. Pop this one in. I should have probably done this a bit sooner actually. These roots are quite developed. But anyway, they're in the pot, and I think they'll do okay. Open that one up. So what we'll do is once I get all these guys planted, we'll put these on the windowsill again, and we'll grow them on. But the next time you see these guys, I'm hoping they're going to be a bigger plant than they are now. Okay. We'll just do this one cell. I needn't do the rest on camera. There's no point in doing that. Okay. There we go. That one's in. That's it. We'll do, just move that out the way. Just give this guy a shake. Just shake it off. so we can see all the shoots. And we'll give them a drink of water. If you do use a bottle or a container that wasn't designed as a water gun, make sure you mark it. Okay, so I'll make a ticket for that. I'll plant the other ones up, as I say, off camera. Then we'll close the video down. We'll have another look at this later on when those guys have developed a bit more. I shot the first part of this video about 10 days ago, and since then the sweet corn have been growing on the windowsill. About 3 weeks ago I shot another video, and that was a video about the importance of light to seedlings growing on a windowsill. And I think I entitled that one something like, "If you grow seeds on a windowsill, this video's for you." So you'll recall seeing this if you've seen the video. A light meter. Okay, that tells us how much light we're getting in this location. So we've done a sort of a technical presentation, if you like, and we showed that by simply putting white card or baker foil, tin foil, behind the plant, we could actually reflect some of the light that was going past the plant into the room back onto the plant and make it much brighter. And as you know, the better the light, the stronger the plant. So these two sort of videos come together nicely now, because I've had chance to do a practical. This was the technical, now let's look at the practical. Okay. Turn it around this way, you might even be able to read the label. This was a box from Amazon. I can't recall what I got in this box. But what I did was I made it into 2 light boxes. Drew a line down there, a line down here, and cut it in half. And sellotaped the lid to make it a bottom. So I had a box. Made 2 light meters, 2 light boxes, sorry. So they're the 2 light boxes I've made. And it's simply a box cut in half, sellotaped up, and painted white internally. Sat on a windowsill, that will reflect light around your plants. Now then, I'm going to show you the practical result of using a light box. Okay. These are 6 of the sweet corn that I potted up. And as you can see, there is some growth since last you saw them. Seem to be coming on okay. These 2 perhaps not, but the other 4 are. And it's been quite cold, so I wasn't expecting them to race on. But they have grown, haven't they? From what you can see in the first part of this video, they've definitely grown. Now compare them and contrast them to another 6 that I planted. If you remember, I've done 6 on this video, and I was going to sow another 6. Contrast those with those. These guys have been in a light box. Same windowsill, same conditions, same temperature, same amount of light coming in through the window, except that these guys in a light box have been surrounded by light because the light's been reflected onto them. What do you think? I think it shows that a light box works, don't you? If you haven't made one by now, make one. Put your seeds in it. Grow them on like this. You'll notice the difference. It does make a difference. So there's nothing more to say really on sweet corn and light boxes. I've demonstrated that a light box works, and I've shown you sweet corn that has been germinated on a tissue, planted up, and it's now growing on nicely. So we'll call it a day, shall we? So this is Homegrown Veg, signing out. Well, what did you think of that Frey light box? Didn't cost me a penny. I mean, you can make one, can't you? You've probably got boxes now that will make a Frey light box. You've got everything you need. You've probably got boxes, you've got sellotape, you've certainly got time on your hands if you're still under lockdown. Just make one. And if you know, to get it, you can either line it with paper, you can spray it white, you can line it with tin foil to reflect the light. You know, just whatever pleases you, do that, and it will increase the amount of light to anything that you stand in it. It will. And I think that video proved it, didn't it, with the use of the light meter. Okay, well, I'm glad you've got this far. I hope I wasn't a wee bit misleading with the title. But hey, let's face it. What else are you going to be doing? What else were you going to be doing if you hadn't watched that video? We're stuck, aren't we? We're stuck. Right, make yourself a light box. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.